What a pile of nonsense. Right. Let's get into the game. Seems the pistol is indeed live, and Kishima's trying to hold things down over here towards the B bomb site, and he's doing a good job of it so far. 2 kills for him. He's done his job, but it's a 3 versus 3. He and AZ have gone down. Bombs getting planted on default. We have a lurker towards the tunnels for the T's, trying to hold off any rotation, and indeed a rotation is coming in from Rain. He's ready for the angle, but is he good enough to get the frag here? Not on this occasion for us to take him down. Man advantage for the CTs now. Jacob taking down Pit towards the window. Get right. He's playing behind the red box there. And he's the last man standing for his team with 2. He gets himself maybe a 1 versus 1, but he can't find the head. He does, but no bullets left, and he's going to go down. Fox, does he have time to defuse the bomb? I do believe he does. Marvelous stuff. Nice position from Get Right. That allows him to peek the window, covering most of his body. Quite a sneaky position, but obviously the pros will know it. Still hard to deal with, though.
Hello.
Welcome back, Dan.
And that's a 5th pistol round out of the 5 for Faze.
Producer Mike, please turn off your microphone. Thank you very much.
It's time to just run up mid, James. It's time to do it. Of course, this is actually really nice when you're in this situation against Kevlar-less players, just like getting the drop on them up mid, because he actually rain bailed on the idea though after running up halfway, so got cold feet. But AZ will still remain in the lower dark. And he will find an engagement, and he will make the monies. And here comes some of the T players, just in dribs and drabs actually at the moment. Just 2 left now, as they are slowly being picked off 1 by 1 all across the map. And pretty simple closeout here for Faze. So Faze continuing to win all those pistol rounds, as pointed out, and it's going to be a situation now where their economy is going to be super good going into these falling ones. But NiP, they have a chance here. They got that bomb down. They got the AKs in on the 3rd rounds. It's going to be interesting to see how they play with this. Lots of options. What do you want to see, Janko? Are you with us, Janko?
What kind of question is that, Dan? Of course I'm with you. They have to go for something pretty straightforward. They didn't have a spawn for long, so I'm expecting probably a B split from NiP here. But Faze is already aggressive towards B tunnels, Dan.
Yes, indeed. Nice throw, Janko. so it's going to be just a slight altercation there between NiP and Faze. Neither team really wants too much to do with it, as we have AZ there holding into mid, just getting the information as well. It's really nice if he gets close to these doors with that UMP, just because UMP is going to be very effective close range, as well as the fact that he gets any info. But look at this pop flash play. 2 players on catwalk here for NiP, but not much longer will the Faze defense be able to stand that test, as we have Faze marching on to a rotation to try to just reclaim this bomb site under the madness, but they're being picked off left and right, and it's just going to be a Kiyoshima left alive. And NiP seem to have successfully played out their first buy. So that's going to be really nice for them. Of course, they need to make sure that they do not get reset, but I don't think Faze are going to be... I mean, actually, considering that they had a clean sweep in the previous round, they should be okay to get a decent buy, but I doubt we'll see a huge amount of grenades. I doubt we'll see an AWP unless it's going to be glass cannon for Faze. So NiP straight back in it. And very important match as well. You know, NiP, if they win this one, they will qualify for the playoffs straight away. So that is this is a very, very important match for them. So it's really, you know, great to see that they fought back really hard despite losing so many pistol rounds. And it's quite funny because NiP usually are a pretty good team at winning pistol rounds, but Faze have their number today, seemingly.
Seemingly. Clean M4A4s here on the Faze side. Don't see that very often. All M4A4s here. No, not so many sneaky spots on Dust2 as you might see on other maps. CT's moving down long now, and Get Right is moving through with some flashes in tow. They may not expect him near blue. Will they push through the smoke? Of course not. That would be absolutely suicidal. Get Right's going to be playing close. Exist gets traded, but Get Right unknown for now. And he's going to get through the smoke and take Rain down and JChem. Faze has been dismantled in this round so far. Great patience there from Get Right to take down AZ. 3k for him so far. Only Kiyoshima left, wondering how his team got wrecked so hard.
It's amazing how Get Right, who's been probably for the entirety of his CSGO career exclusively a lurker, how proficient he is now in the role of an entry fragger. It just shows that he's a complete player, and when you have such a good understanding of the game and good mechanical skills, it doesn't really matter in which role you're put. You can basically, do a good job in whatever role.
A good job, as they would say.
A good job, as the Swedish would
Bra
say.
jobbat.
And the only thing you shouldn't do is challenge your opper.
Well, okay, so we get...
Here am I talking about funny pronunciations of words in the English language. How absurd.
I have to ask you, Janko, so for that, because obviously we have a lot of new players who won't be familiar with the history, and I casted maybe a few times, funnily enough, back in 2013. But what was your role within the game for those who don't know?
I was the opper for my team, and then later on I also was the in-game leader for my team when I realized everyone else was pretty much incompetent, and the only person who was decided to not play anymore. So yeah.
Nice. How did it go?
It was pretty good at first. I was playing with Nico, obviously, so he was the main star of the team. He was exclusively rifling back then, except for maybe a couple of positions somewhere on the CT side, right? So we had pretty good chemistry going together. But then, as we moved up the chain, we started playing better teams, and we figured out how we are supposed to play good Counter-Strike. But that involved a lot of tough work, a lot of, someone had to throw the tough smokes, and not everyone was equally invested in that. So slowly I started doing things that were necessary, which basically took away from my primary role, which was the opera of the team and one that was supposed to make openings along with Nico. So it was good for us in some regards, not as good in some of the others. Ideally, someone else would be doing it, but I mean, whatever it takes to win, right, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. But
I respect that.
So what happened? We've seen the rise a little bit. We talked about your roles and how it developed. What ended up happening? How did you end up kind of coming to the point where you stopped playing ultimately?
Because just my teammates didn't put enough work into the game. Not necessarily time, but just thought into it, and they weren't concentrated enough when we were playing, and same mistakes kept happening again and again, which made me feel like I was losing time basically practicing, because I worked outside of the game with with one other teammate specifically. We were figuring out stuff, trying to improve our game. So our practice turns into, after the practice, the two of us speak to, talk to other 3 players in the team, trying to, explain to them why we're supposed to fix some mistakes, why you're not supposed to peek aggressively when we have a 5v3 and similar things. But as I said, that's why I made the video about practice, right? People weren't taking practice serious enough. So when an official game arrives, they make silly mistakes because they're not sure what to do, because they were fooling around in practice, going for some YOLO plays and similar stuff. So I was close to building a team that I really wanted to. That was early 2015. But that's when Nico got an offer from Mouse, and one of the players I needed for the team kind of declined. I mean, he didn't want to play without his friend, which I didn't want on the team. So at that point, we couldn't find a 5th player, and Nico got the offer, and I told him, go play for Mouse. Even though he personally, I think even now, he would still mostly prefer playing with, people from his own region. If he could be, if he could play on the same level as he does with Mouse, he would always take that over anything else. But unfortunately, there's just not enough talent in our region to compete at that level.
So what you're saying is Nico is responsible for your retirement?
No,
I'm just teasing.
Not directly, but yeah, in a sense. I just figured at that point, that's the problem. I'd say that I had these issues with my players. I didn't have anyone to replace them with, because they were just the most skilled in our region. And if you, it's not the case bringing someone young who is at least skilled mechanically. We didn't even have that. There was maybe one player capable of doing that. So that's the problem with, you know, maybe it was the problem recently with the French scene as well, right? We only see Body and Devil getting picked up after maybe 2 years of, the last up-and-coming player was probably Kyoshima in late 2013. I'm not even sure exactly what the period was. And only one of those two players is actually performing well right now. So it can be tricky to make roster changes.
So there is never. So what would it take for you to make a return? What would it take? Because obviously you built.
It's really difficult now
built a
because
lot of stuff now.
I'm really enjoying what I do now. But every now and then I think about how awesome it is actually to play the game whenever I get to do it for at least a short while. But
especially when you're mixing with me and Henry.
Yeah, of course. That's when I get to see how actually an amazing player I am, being able to carry you in Faze it down. I don't think I've ever achieved anything greater than that in my career.
I respect that, Janko, and I agree with you completely. So it's 2-2 now, and we have Faze moving down the short position. Pit had some connection issues, but they seem to be resolved. Only pistols here for the Faze side, loads of nades and such for NiP. So we'll see how they handle an anti-eco on Dust2, one of the more open maps, but still dangerous in such a position. We have a CZ and a P250. Other than that, there's not much going on here for the Faze side. Quick note for those of you at home playing anti-ecos on Dust2 or just in general. If you're holding doors from T spawn and you've got someone outside long, someone outside B, you have to move somebody through suicide. Otherwise, you're not going to see a fast short push coming in there. You're going to be completely blind if it's just your AWPer looking at mid. So always be wary of that. And we see 4 players here for Faze. I wish there was a HG flying in there because I just love the carnage, Dan. I love the carnage.
It's time to go. This is one of the classic anti-eco plays. Just moving through the contact through to B. And looks like Kyoshima will spot it. The preemptive peek, he actually gets a pick off there, almost a second if he only had more bullets. But he doesn't. And that's going to be the bomb site there for the NiP side. And nice little nade there, and JKM will die. So it's going to be the 3-2. Faze able to get the buy-in, but Fox, AWP, Kevlar, no nades, and generally just a lack of nades for the rest of the team as well. So pretty rough situation from that perspective. I mean, if NiP plays slow and just bait out a few nades, all of a sudden Faze won't have any left to defend anything with.
Right then, let's see if Faze can get back to winning ways on this occasion. Again, we have the aggressive play from JKM, and he's going to have his good buddy Fox flying in there. Like the Delta Force. Freiburg going in wide for the peak there. Get right, taking down Jacob on short. But Freiburg will be lost elsewhere, as will Pit. We have Rain and CT spawn, but not for long here. AZ gets taken down towards B, and we have Fox alone versus 3. There's a player, get right, with 8 HP by the doors. But I think this situation is a little bit too sticky for Fox to deal with.
This is a great example of why we say that Dust2 is a pretty simple and straightforward map for the Ts. Nothing complicated here, nothing fancy, just good timing and good communication between the NiP players. Obviously, they wanted to pressure B, and once they got to know the position of the CTs, you could see that Exist, even though he was by himself initially in that upper B, he just reacts by pushing out and getting the 2 kills on the CT players that were falling back from mid. And that's why for teams like Faze and that are still in the process of getting practice in and adding more structure to their game, a map like this can be pretty favorable.
And the fun, I wonder as well how much it went into the decision of NiP. The fact that like they probably didn't expect there either to be enough money for an AWP for Fox to have, and if there was enough money that their economy would be so low, it's unlikely he's going to go for like the coin flip that is challenging mid. So just that they get that fast timing and then on double doors. It's super
or
nice.
They simply know that he likes playing towards the A bomb site, so it doesn't hang around mid. So that's a pretty safe option for them to go to.
Faze back on the eco, and I love how focused they are on their recos and trying to do the most with them that they possibly can. Something which is lacking from previous teams, which we continue to talk about. It's one of our recent topics here. So it begins, the spray down begins, and many people will be punished, including Get Right for his sins, and Exist cannot atone for them. So 3 versus 2, and there are 2 rifles for these 2 Faze players to pick up. But do they just sit on them? Again, with the bomb not going down, there's so much time that it's kind of awkward for them to try and start saving now. Moving over towards the A site, the bomb will get planted over towards B.
Bomb's been planted. It's great.
That silly grin on your face.
What? What are you talking about?
I knew you were going to say, I knew you were going to do something ridiculous. I knew it. I know you too well, Dad.
How is that ridiculous?
Oh, look at Pit. He's got his torrents on. There's a time and a place, Pit. It's not even watershed. Put them on pause, please. Thank you very much.
What are you talking about, James? Torrents are illegal outside Serbia.
Well, it depends on what you're torrenting. You know, you could be torrenting poetry.
That's still illegal.
Torrenting itself is not illegal. The content is sometimes illegal.
Yeah, torrenting is just sharing. It's just sharing,
It's
guys.
a form of sharing.
It's just sharing.
Okay. So if Dan's just torrenting his poems, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, why not? If they're his poems to
Problem
torrent.
is, no one's gonna want those.
There's always someone, Dan. Such is the nature of the internet.
If you want to see exclusively a peek into DDK's poems, tweet at him right now.
Do it. Do it. That's what we like to see here at Face It TV. And we have NiP with a 3-round lead moving into long once again. They're having continued success over towards long, and they will continue to push there, perhaps until the success has come to a horrible, brutal, disgusting end. You can actually flash Fox's position from long doors, just next to long doors, but Fox is causing problems now. He's got it. I don't know if his teammate towards Car has been spotted, although there is a bit of jumping going on, which would suggest the position has been revealed. And we have a poverty run boost going in there, which is more a run fall off my head. And that's the bomb exposed as well. This is a bit of a suicidal idea. There are 3 people on long here for the CTs, and it's not working out for NiP.
This is awkward, isn't it? Trying to force their way in there. There's so much spray, so much kind of failure, I must say. But finally, Exist will get a pick off. But still, there's 40 seconds left, and the bomb needs to rotate. And the bomb has 16 HP on it, which is not good. And FryBike's kind of stuck in the pit position in the sense he can't actually get out there because they don't actually want to peek ever. They don't want to risk dying. And FryBike's just going to run and try to run distraction towards this A bomb site and delay any rotation. And that's looking like it's going to work, but he might just get shot in the side of the face. But nice frag there from FryBike. He's going to be able to absolutely slow rotation. And will he actually even pull the rotation? Yeah. I mean, we've got FryBike standing on the side here making all kinds of noise. Player on Gandalf. FryBike going for the engagement. And now they're thinking, where is the bomb? And now they know.
He was in full North Pole mode, just attracting, you know, the magnets and so on. I hope it's a North Pole, not a South Pole. Anyway, Exist, last man standing now. With not much health, up against 2, this is not going to be easy. There's a lot of time on the clock here.
No
for
kit.
Faze, but they've got no kit. They've got no flashes, no smokes. They do have hopes, and that's all they have. And that's my poem available on torrents now. So we've got Kishima going in for the defuse here, while Fox is holding the wrong angle. He's looking towards the door, which they just came through. And Kishima not going for the defuse now, Exists with the god tier read, the hero read.
That was smart, yeah.
This seems just to be the king of clutches when it comes to Dust2. And I have no idea what. I mean, I know what Fox was thinking, that Exist flanked them through tunnels towards mid, but I mean, he could have just been hiding in upper, which is what he did. It was kind of a... And again, the upper is not defusing then.
Yep.
Why is that?
Don't know, mate.
And it was looking good for Faze because NiP was uncharacteristically sloppy towards long A, Forest going for a dry pick instead of someone flashing for him so that he could jump into the pit.
Ooh.
But they still win the round.
Getroy's having a good time. He's got 15 kills in 8 rounds. That's not too bad. Not too bad.
It's okay.
Exist getting those clutches, very nice indeed. I mean, that round was a complete mess as well. That was a complete mess, that round. Kind of crazy the way that it ended. But there is a bye still for Faze, and that means that there is hope for Faze. FryBike and Pitts making their way up catwalk at the moment. It kind of feels like we might just see a quick set piece out of NiP here, maybe like a wall of smokes. I think they're a team that have the wall of smokes. There's not many teams that actually use that strategy anymore, but there's one smoke. That allows them to more safely throw more forward nades. And we're going to get some Molotovs here onto the slope as well. That's Rain being burned, and that's Freiburg going down because Rain only had one place to look at that point, which they forced, and he's going to look there, but Pitt with the return on 2 frags. Brilliant stuff there from Pitt, and indeed, this has been a great set piece. You can see the CTs had no opportunities apart from that one engagement from Rain to do anything. And 2 players are dead, including Fox, and the post-plant setup is really beautiful as well.
That wasn't a great set piece, Dan. That was an amazing set piece. And do you want to know why?
Why is that?
Because of the Molotov that is
Yeah.
preset thrown on the box, the one closest to the slope. Because what happens in these executes, most of the teams just throw a Molotov running towards slope, which more often than not just ends up being too far behind the upper. But this one falls on the box, the one box that you can see now in the back, next to the barrel, and that spreads to the edge. And that way, it catches the upper who is playing close. And if he moves too far back, then the angle is not favorable to him. The entry fragger will see him earlier, and it is easier for him to get flashed as well.
Right,
so
right.
That placement of Molotov really makes a big difference.
The only thing that it feels like they overlooked is that player, if he is there, as again, like has to look towards crossover then. But Freiburg didn't anticipate that. It's like the only tweak you can make there, really. But it was amazing to see that. You see so many pushes on the A just blown up by the guy in Rain's position. So very, very nice to note that indeed. And now they just have to hold on. They've lost a player already, actually, to these Deegs. But Forrest will be in there with a quick poke on the AWP, and that's Rain dead. Fox goes down close as well. So looks pretty good here overall for NiP now that they've made it to the site. Not too much to worry about. And NiP having a great half. And it all comes down to the fact that they got the bomb down on the pistol. Because, okay, you know, sure, they've lost every pistol, but getting the bomb down at least gives them that round with the AKs. And they played that round very well, actually. They selected a great strategy. And now it seems like we're finally going to get that strong T side out of NiP that we have expected to see in one of these maps. It's going to come on to Dust2. 17 kills on Get right now.
A mere 17 kills.
He's racking them up.
No more for this round, though, of course.
Lining them up.
And this is rare in a sense that usually when NiP wins, it's a team effort, right? That the scores are pretty even across the board. Yes, someone will stand out by a couple of kills, but right now Get Right is leading the way by a large margin.
6-round deficit for Faze. 2 have come so close on Raj. If they lose it now, they will be disappointed, as maybe both teams will. Faze with the double ops on the CC side. AZ and Fox going for them. Fox heading towards long, or I guess he's going to play, well, car position actually. And we'll see where AZ is headed. It's going to be in mid for the time being. Can move over towards B later. And there's a fast play into B, a very fast play. AZ's coming in with a hero flashbangs though to allow Kishima to face. I think he had another flash to throw as well. Kishima finally goes down. Fox coming in through the door onto Get Right actually. So it's a 3 versus 3. Smokes and flashes for the CT side. No Molotovs though, and that Molotov didn't go in the right place. And AZ almost finds the angle. I think Freiburg was exposed there, but never mind.
And having to retake this with 2 AWPs is beyond awkward, I got to say. I mean, it's already hard enough to retake this bomb site. They're going to have to drop the AWPs. Boom. Okay, we got one coming into play there from upper dark. Fox getting the peek onto Forest, or the hold onto Forest's peek, as Fox gets himself one onto Pit, so all of a sudden everybody's dead. So
okay,
they're going to make it happen. It seems like the first kill onto Forest destabilized the entire defense, and that was that.
Yep. And it has been NiP's round to lose there. Forest not getting that kill was detrimental because then the other players were pressed to go for an aggressive play through the smoke, and it didn't pay off. But again, great change of pace from NiP. Maybe from that first gun round, seeing how Faze reacts, and just had a player fake fast mid while the rest ran out B. And we have action on long.
I think we had a Molotov attempt there. Oh, we'll come back to that. Get Right again, going around these smokes. He's going to get traded fast, so Forrest coming in for support. We had a CT go on the car to throw a quick Molotov into the door, but I think it missed completely. Fox with an absurd kill to Freiburg there. And we have madness all over the map at the moment. Forrest alone now versus AZ and Kiyashima. AZ definitely have more space to hide without peeking Forest's angle, but now he doesn't know where Forest B. Forest going first. The hero frag onto AZ, but not going to make it happen.
That was a crazy round. I mean, they were going for that fast
Forest
split.
doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Get right was
I'm
so
gonna get
fast.
my knife out and jump into CT spawn while the bomb is 1 feet away from me.
Yeah, pretty much.
They are definitely not going to expect that.
I wonder if he thought that it fell to CT, maybe. I wonder if he thought that.
Possible, yeah.
Maybe that was
It is possible because it was behind the wall. Well, we could see it. He probably made the wrong read there. He probably thought it was in CT spawn.
Because Freiburg did die right up against the edge. Maybe Freiburg was like, it's definitely down there, man.
Go for it. Just go for it. You got this.
100%.
You got this.
Well,
100%.
looks like NiP have got a very fast split onto the B bomb site. It's going to be a 5 versus 2 here. These guys are in a lot of trouble. Kiyoshima blind, trying to play around the smoke. AZ's gone down already, and Kiyoshima gets a frag on to get right. Seems I don't know where he is just yet. Ryberg is down as well. Can he do any more? He can't. The bomb site is in the hands of the teams now.
That's some really great play from Kiyoshima there. And the way that he repositioned initially, perhaps wanted to take Dark, but then he realized he had no idea how many players were coming from either, so took a great position, and that actually did the damage. Now Faze have a good chance to actually retake this round, and we saw them retake from a worse situation with 2 orbs, but aggressive play from NiP, not going to be what works here. 2 versus 3 now for NiP to be up against. Bomb ticking away. Wow, Jacob just straight through the smoke. Why not? And Forest now has 3 players to look for, and that's going to be unfavorable to say the least. And that's the round there for Faze. They'll pick up an AWP for their troubles. Back to the double AWP setup, and 5 rounds.
Second time in this half that NiP loses a 3v3 after plant inside of the B bomb site, which is something that really should not happen. But again, you could see them utilizing and thinking, being 1 step ahead of Faze, right? After all that aggression and baiting towards mid and B, Faze now switches to being inside of the B bomb site, and NiP, probably expecting that, had a lot of the players towards mid as Forest goes for another late dry peak with the op.
Emphasize late.
They still have 8 flashes. His teammates have not spent a single flash. But they needed something else. Maybe to die on me.
Perhaps this situation where he doesn't want them to flash so that he can get the peak, because it's late. It's like you can't get a surprise timing or anything. So
yeah, but I mean, you want that when it's early. If it's late, you're probably going to get wrecked.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the weird thing about it. But we've seen this in the past. This has been in last year. We saw this tendency from Forest to actually make a lot of these peaks, and because Forest is an amazing player, and when he's playing, he truly realizes and believes that he can win these battles, and more often than not against a lot of players, he's able to do that. So, and that does actually give him an air of unpredictability as well. So,
just to tell you what's going on in the other match, which is running simultaneously, Mouse took Dust2 16-3 over Dignitas, and I do believe if Mouse win that best of 3, then they qualify for LAN as well.
It'd be hilarious if that match starts.
For the
finishes before this does.
We shall see. So 2 rifles on the NiP side and the 3 Tech 9s, tons of nades as well for the Swedish side. So there's still opportunity. They can still do things. And they're moving towards shot. Will we see smokes this time, Dan?
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same, because there is only 1 Molotov, and it's on Freiburg. So I think we're going to see the same strat. This is going to be cool to see if they can make it work with this situation on the weapons. Rain's in the same position. I don't see or hear the molly behind Rain.
It's in the side.
It's in the side. Okay. So as we can see, Rain just gets free Rain over this position.
You really enjoyed that one, didn't you?
And it's going to be get right with that Tech 9 to try to get a sneaky frag. It's a nice little shot into the dome. I wonder if he can pick up a rifle here. I don't think he can. Sets all over the place. Almost gets another frag because Tech 9.
Kiyoshima down to 1 HP, but 1 HP will be enough to get a 7th round on the board here for Faze. Get right with 21 frags.
Big effort, yeah.
That is slightly monstrous.
I mean, I think Faze should thank their lucky stars that they managed to get 7 rounds, because I think that NiP should have had at least an 11-4 half. Just felt that they threw some of the rounds away, especially the after plants towards B, and also a couple of unnecessary peaks that cost them a man early, really brought Faze back into this game. And we were talking before about how Dust2 is a map where you can go for simple executes on the T side. You don't need to be that coordinated as you would have to be on some other maps. So definitely a chance for Faze to still win this game, especially if they win 6th pistol out of the 6 we've had so far.
Alrighty then, 4 Kevlars onto the NiP side, the kit, the flash onto Freiburg. 2 of the men on the Faze team will be Nade men, Faze clan, should I say. 3 NiP players over towards long, keeping short, leaving short a little bit open, but Exist is moving into position now. He will have the range advantage. I think we got a P250 onto Rain, but no Kevlar onto him, no raid boss here. Things starting slow, but then moving fast with Faze. The bomb going towards long. Pit gets taken down, and that is the extended range of the P250 to get the one shot there onto Pit. Working up nicely so far, but it's a man advantage for the CTs. The Ts are closing the distance now. Freiburg stuck around the site. Exist stuck on the site. And there he will lie, as will Freiburg in CT spawn. Get right versus 3. He is not seen straight away. Rain's going to get tagged, but not fragged. Get right will be finished off.
Another pistol round lost. Now all pistol rounds lost.
6 vs 6.
That's insane.
NiP needs to practice their pistols then.
I guess so. That's crazy.
You were the one saying that they have all these crazy strats for pistol rounds. They didn't win a single one of them.
I know, right?
You liar.
It's actually kind of weird to see that they're having such low success rate. They usually have quite good success rate on pistols because they have players like Forest. I mean, every player is very capable NiP with pistols, but Faze, they are super sick individually. So we've definitely seen that this series. They are really good at the Counter-Strike as well. And we have a quick take of the A bomb site. Very nice, just running up along the standard anti-eco / anti-force spy sort of play. And it's interesting to note the investment from the CTs. It's very little. They haven't even touched any armor. There's some P250s and a Deagle. So almost no investment for NiP. They're going to have a strong first buy.
Oh, damage is being done, and P90 has been collected by NiP. Always love a P90 being in play. Faze have 3 players on the site though, 2 players on the site, excuse me, and that's going to be great for the range. NiP have done all they needed to do in this round.
And this is actually something I think Janko brought up in a previous cast in the last couple of days. The way that NiP were able to get that last frag is just by finding a way to group up and have a 4 versus 1 on a player that's kind of going for the eco frags. Oh, I want to get some of those eco frags. It's like, well, we're going to just gang up on you 4 versus 1, try to win that, and kill you and take your weapon. And so they get a P90 and a Mac 10.
Basically, reminds me of my neighborhood in Serbia.
I actually think Rain would have got that shot on the pistol round with a Glock from that distance.
The one on Pit?
Yeah.
In Pit?
No. I think he would have one shot with the Glock.
Oh, you mean if he...
just some ranges. I'm pretty sure it would be. Anyway, Faze with the lead now. Oh, money. That's just paper in Kiyoshima's pocket. 3rd kill coming in with a Glock. But the P90 is still in play, but Forrest, he bought Kevlar and helmet to go with the P90. But he just didn't have it out at the right time. Get right can try and salvage it, but that is a damn shame. I wanted to see some fun happen. Get right is making smart decisions. And he's dead.
I mean, NiP was baited a little bit there by buying armor on those 2 players who only had SMGs, but it seems that it's not going to hinder them too much coming into this buy round. They have the open pit, but still not that much utility. They have 4 smokes, so we'll see if they try and go for a play somewhere. Seems like they're boosting up Cat.
Jakin going straight through mid there, and Pit with the boost, able to find the quick kill as Jakin explodes out of mid there and finds the frag onto Forest, and the effort goes towards B here for the T side. Faze actually get themselves in this site and they can actually avail themselves of bomb plant, but there are still more numbers on the CT side, and oh my god, that is ridiculous. Both Exist and Freiburg getting fast frags straight away, leaving Fox alone with the op to try to save it 1 versus 2. Now, NiP, they lost a lot of favorable situations on the B-bomb side. Perhaps they can find redemption in winning this clutch situation against Fox. as he goes into dark. A predictable, very predictable position to have the AWP from. But the problem is there's no nades. But we do have an AWPer, or no longer. Fit's going to select the... Oh, a smoke which is picked up by Exist, so they can smoke off Fox now.
Yeah, but that's not hard. That's not a frag.
Smoke off the bomb.
It's not a hard frag to get in the smoke. Oh my god, he's actually missed it. I think he moved. I feel like his crosshair was on, but you don't think so?
I don't think so. I think he was a bit too far to the left with his crosshair.
To the left. Too much Beyonce going on there.
That, yes, Beyonce. And the first miss he had kind of sealed the deal for him. But they managed to kill 4 NiP players, and now NiP has 2 FAMASes, a UMP, an M4 and an AK, far from an optimal buy, while Fox still has the AWP. So
yeah.
FaZe needs to win this round.
Yeah, they have a good opportunity to reset the CT economy here, and that might put them in... Do you feel like either team deserves to win at this point?
What? That's a horrible question, isn't it?
Yes, I feel that team who wins this map deserves to win, James.
That is the premium answer, Janko. Over to you, Dan.
Well, it is 5 versus 4 in favor of FaZe, and they've got that opening kill, and there's almost no utility left. In fact, well, 2 flashbangs left on NiP, so FaZe should be able, if they're able to just get onto a bomb site, NiP have nothing to retake the bomb site with. They're just going to have to run through grenades, and that's just not that shouldn't work if FaZe have at least 3 players left alive at that situation. So here we go, the side take of B, and this is the worst nightmare in this round for NiP because I really don't think there's anything they can do there. They're already set up to just save anyway in this round, so this should go to FaZe pretty easily. And NiP looking to just do some damage on the outskirts. GetRight picks up a frag there, doesn't want to go for any AKs that might be available, but hang on, they've got a couple kills here now as FaZe try to exit, and now they're thinking about things, it would seem. We actually have a push into the site now, coming in from one of the NiP players, so they've actually changed their minds from their initial decision. AZ gets the defensive come to GetRight, but Fox has it all to do that. Nice quick kill, finds the second on a no-scope. One more player, and that's Fox. Vintage Fox right there, beautiful stuff. That's why he's on the team, and that's going to be the 11-9.
What does Vintage Fox mean?
It means the Fox that I used to see wrecking everyone with the AWP when he was playing on his old teams. Before he got initially brought into the GT. Yeah, we cast a lot. We cast a lot of Star Series back then. Is the interview session over?
Just checking then.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen much of these actions, at least not in CSGO. 1.6, yes. But great round from Fox. As I said, probably a must-win round for FaZe, considering how weak the buy was for NiP. Now NiP forced to probably double eco again if they want to have an AWP in their gun round.
Yeah, it's so strange how much of a struggle this series has been, but because of NiP just losing every pistol, and it kind of gives you a good display of the fact that you know, when they're up against a team like FaZe and they can't really capitalize on those anti-ecos, because I actually would like to see what the number, it'd be so cool to see the number of rounds, average rounds per match NiP play against an anti-eco and or anti-force buy and their success rate. And then if you compare it to the number here, because I don't think NiP played against many
ecos?
Many force buys in this matchup. FaZe has always been having the ability to throw something at NiP for most of the game, of the series. And NiP have always had struggles on the money, but I mean, credit to them for keeping it close. And FaZe have been hitting some sick shots. AZ straight in pit there. Oh, the spray down is not going to work for AZ as he finds all 4 players even.
Well, that should mark the end of the round for the most part. We have Rain holding, I love this position actually, on in T-spawn. That is a position that nobody ever checks, ever. And it will leave 1 player alive for NiP, and that weapon that was collected earlier is no more. Goodbye Exist, and now NiP must be starting to feel the pressure, starting to feel the steam rise from the collar of their shirts and other things. Double AWPs coming out now, NiP and Forest. NiP and Forest. Pits and Forest.
You what, mate?
Hello.
You what, mate? Hello. So we have the double up indeed, as mentioned. And now it's going to be interesting to see how that actually gets used here. Because we have a fast AZ up catwalk. He's the most forward player here for the Faze side. And like, he's just going to hold this position now after he beats NiP for fast timing. But, oh, Pit. Just sidestep, squeeze the trigger, and AZ is gone. And that is a pretty significant advantage. Because if you look at the scoreline right now, Faze are getting really close to just winning this series. And after so many overtimes and so much just general time that's been invested into this series, yeah, it's going to really suck for the loser.
Yeah, they are close, but NiP aren't too far behind here. Just a 4-round deficit at present, and if they can take this round, then who knows how far they can go. Although we have many Faze players closing in on the get right position. Flash is coming in. 2-man spray down for him. Just where you need him to come in, he does. 3K for get right, and Forest will finish things off. Get right and Forest, a good old team. And they don't lose a single player, which is critical for them in this 3-round deficit.
But look at the money for Faze. They can buy this round and the next, and probably one after that, especially if they get the bomb plant. So still a tough task ahead of NiP. If they lose this round, yes, they will be able to buy, but it will not be an optimal buy. So let's see how Faze decide to approach this round. NiP hasn't been doing anything too fancy. Not as, we haven't seen any crazy aggressive plays, but right now one op is on Cat, Pit holding the angle, and Forest is on the scaffolding outside B.
We've got Fox dropping the smoke on the corner there. Good start there from Freiberg. I'm surprised Fox stands on top of the box to throw that, because you can do it from below. And the fact that it bounces off the corner as well slows it down, so I think it can be thrown in much better fashion. Either way, Faze take control of long despite losing a player. Going to leave one player in pits. They could go for the split now, but obviously you can see NiP have reacted by taking short, and Forest is holding the angle on short itself. Freiberg goes down, but Exist responds, so this split is not going to work out for Faze.
Yeah, it's a brilliant reaction from NiP, and Faze should expect this, because once you force the players off long, they have to go somewhere, and it's almost always going to be cat / middle. Rarely will they just sit on the site, and it's going to be Kiyoshima with a re-entry there, able to take down the player on a site. So there is a hope now for Faze, despite being 2 versus 3. Nice little smoke off there to get himself a plant safely for long. That's beautiful there from Kiyoshima, and it also allows him to safely fall back down onto the slope or crossover position. But he's actually going to potentially go and just keep this headshot angle, play with the smoke. He's obscured for the large part in this position, so this is a really nice spot to be on. It's very smart that he didn't give this up, and he goes for the engagements. He gets taken down, but now it's all up to Fox. Kiyoshima did his best to give Fox a very winnable situation, and it is indeed 2 players to find. And Exist, oh, Exist is going to be able to get the immediate drop on Fox. Very, very smart there. NiP knew exactly what was going on. Exist was in the perfect position to capitalize, and there is the 11-13. So NiP, they're giving themselves a solid chance here.
I mean, it all started with Pit dying in that A bomb site when they had a 4v2, but I know how he feels. That's the worst situation for an opper, because he didn't have control of long or cat, and his positions are limited at that point. So he had hold an aggressive angle towards cat, but Kyo punished him for it.
Well, we have another charge into long here by the T's. Freiberg going deep, but he's going to get taken down there. Pit takes 1 down, but 2 have been lost here for NiP, and now Pit is alone with a split. The T's have control of long and short, which is horrible for NiP. The support can only come in from CT spawn. Get right trying to come in from mid, and he's going to get punished for it. Pit almost gets a shot there into Pit itself. Well, he does, but through the floor, so Jacob down to 5 HP here.
So it's all on this for Pit. He's got 4 players to kill. He's got just over a minute to do it in. And let's see if he can get this going. He is a pretty sick player, but there's just too many spots to look at, too exposed. And Faze get the 14th round. They're 2 away now, and NiP's economy is being crushed. Only Forest have any money. And you might just, I think just, yeah, force buying is the way to go here. Just force it out. Get 2 chances instead of just 1. Especially as the 1 wouldn't be amazing anyway. So, NiP, this is it.
Well, let's see what's going to happen here. No fast short play from NiP on this occasion. Going to go for the long control once again. And this time, Faze aren't going for the fast aggression. It's not too often you see such fast aggression so repeatedly on one map of Dust2 these days. So you have the T's moving up towards short now. Nobody on short itself for the CTs. They've got one player in CT spawn itself. Forest playing a bit of an off angle outside B. They've got the crossfire in CT. In case there's any push here for the T's. We've got floating stickers as well. So NiP just waiting. Still with 2 people on long. 2 people on long, nobody short whatsoever. So NiP banking on the retake should it be required.
Yeah, 3 or 2 flashbangs, 1 kit. Not the worst position in the world considering their utility, but the fact that they have long means that they can place a fairly solid retake here, I should say. But Faze should be set up pretty effectively on that side. It's going to be tough, no matter what. And here you go, Faze tossing in the nades here to take over the bomb site. But again, NiP kind of giving up the A side, deciding that it's too hard to hold it. And they'd rather just make sure that they can keep control of long, post the defense in mid and B, and so far it's all kind of going according to plan for NiP. Now they just have to go for the retake, which is easier said than done.
Well, they must have been expecting a 5v5 retake the way they were playing, and it is not working out. 3 players left, and it looks like Faze are going to match point here. Get right with the pistol. friberg with an M4. They can't even go for the push here, and friberg's stuck on long, and he is going to be hunted. So these are dire straits, desperate times for the NiP side, and friberg may not be detected by blue, but I'm sure AZ is eventually going to push, and then we'll have to see. There is a trade fragger holding the angle on the door itself, so one of them goes for the pick. You can see Fox holding the angle towards blue now, and he may see friberg's feet underneath if he checks for it. There's actually a bit of an angle on the wall, so you can hide your feet from the bottom. But anyway, he survives, and NiP will only have pistols around that M4 unless he drops an SMG. He could drop an MP9 to one of his players, actually. But no, they're going to go for full nades, and, well, on friberg at least. Full nades on friberg. To be honest, I think an MP9 probably would have been better than 4 pistols, although we'll see if there's a plan in mind here. A very fast play up short from one of the Faze players, and the rest will rotate through lower tunnel.
A play must be made by one of these NiP players. They've got to go huge in this round. Forest going for the taps. Oh, the flash is perfect. Forest picks one off, but he's down to 10 HP. And now it's they've spotted what's going on. And the Faze, they've got 1:20 left. They haven't committed to a plan. So NiP, they want to get ahead with these rotations. They want to get all the bodies in place to have the best possible chance to kill the attempt here from Faze. But again, that surplus of time from Faze means that they can take it easy. And here it is, get right, peeking in for that info, peeking in for that rotation. It's just not happening here for NiP so far. 11-5 is the scoreline right now. Forest, he's going for it. He's going to try to stop that quick 16-11 with that CZ, gets the reload, keeps tapping in there. More damage being done. Rain and Fox low, but it's not going to be enough. It was a solid effort. But Faze will win this best of 3, this incredibly long best of 3. This best of 3 that went on for about 4 hours.
Almost 5.
5 hours, almost 5 hours. Is that real, for sure?
It's 8:30.
Yeah.
Half past
7, so it's 4.5 hours, Dan.
Oh my goodness.
This has got to be the longest best of 3 that we have ever had.
I think so, yeah.
Because it was 4.5 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, we had a delay, but it wasn't that big. Is that overtime? That 5, was it the 5 times
Yep.
overtime? Okay, well, there you go. Wow, so if you stay with us for all that, congratulations. You should have some kind of, well, we don't have any awards to give you, but James does have crappy giveaways. James, do you have anything?
Stop.
No?
No.
So what happened to all the bisons? You had a massive cache of bisons.
I gave some away.
What happened to the get right?
Actually,
bison?
I think I do have about 25 bisons. I gave the get right bison away on Twitter.
About 25 bisons.
It might be more than that. It's like 25 to 40 bisons. But no, we gave that one away. I didn't realize actually he put a Katowice NiP sticker on there, and his signature, and he signed it with the name tag on the bison. But I never gave it away before.
What does that mean? signed by the name tag on the Bison. You can just buy a name tag for yourself and write signed by GetRight.
Indeed, you can, Janko.
So how can you prove that it was GetRight himself who signed it, James?
I'm not one of the people who care, Janko. So, don't know, mate.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Well, I mean, we've got Mousesports and Dignitas going on at the same time. I have no idea what the score is right now, but if you're curious as to the score, as I imagine it's going on right now, we might... Okay, so it's 11-3 for Dignitas right now, Mirage, which is map 2. So if you guys are curious of the score, if you were missing it or wondering, you can always check out the score Esports on your respective app store, whether it be iOS or the Google Play.
Well, are we gonna jump into this match?
And I assume that we are. I mean, I'm waiting for